The story takes place in a world where everyone possesses magical skills, and a ridiculously strong boy named Mash lives an isolated life with his father, Burndead. Mash goes home and accidentally breaks the door. Upon seeing Burndead get angry, Mash quickly tries to fix it, but only worsens the damage. As they have tea together, it is revealed that Mash doesn't have any magical abilities, and Burndead has been making Mash's body stronger to compensate. Burndead heads out and warns Mash not to go into the city while he is away, but Mash disregards his concerns, wears a cloak, and ventures into the city as he wants to try a limited edition cream puff. Mash quickly gives coins to the baker, who is shocked to see the coins bent, and Mash quickly straightens them, further shocking the baker. Suddenly, the wind blows, and the public is shocked to see that his face has no marks on it. On the other hand, an officer named Brad looks at the Divine Visionary, which is the title given to the top student of the Magic Academy, when he suddenly gets a call that a man without any marks is roaming around the city. Meanwhile, Mash accidentally walks into another officer and gets cream over his shirt, so he rips it off, saying he will wash the shirt and return. Brad shows up on the scene, but before he can talk to Mash, Burndead intervenes and drags Mash back to the forest, and Brad sends a magical bird after them. Burndead scolds Mash and punishes him to repeat his daily workout. After Mash leaves, Brad shows up on the scene, and because Mash has exceptional talent, he completes his workout and returns home to overhear Brad saying that magic has only flourished because all the people without magic were eliminated. In a flashback, it is revealed that Burndead was considered a failure to the point that he wanted to take his own life when suddenly he heard a baby crying and realized that the baby was abandoned because it had no marks on its face. Burndead felt like both of them were turned out by society and decided to raise the baby. Burndead screams, telling Mash to run away, so Brad starts beating Burndead. Just as he is about to kill Burndead, Mash barges into the house and fights the other two officers, easily putting them out of his way. Brad laughs at Mash, thinking he has no chance, and uses a spell strong enough to catch a dragon, but Mash easily deflects it with one hand. He tries harder spells, but Mash deflects them all before taking his father's wand and throwing it at Brad. Mash warns to finish him off if he threatens his family again, but Brad proposes Mash join the Magic Academy and become a Divine Visionary, so society will accept him. He tells them that if they refuse, they will be hunted down forever. Mash agrees and goes to the entrance test with a fake mark on his face. There, a man named Lucci looks at all the applicants and notices Mash lifting weights and gets worried. He reveals himself to the crowd, explaining that he will be taking the exam, and the students are stunned as Lucci is a gifted magician. However, Mash comments on his fancy entrance, making Lucci want to fail Mash. Lucci does a spell to make a sitting area for all the applicants, and while all others are amazed, Mash again comments on how it was very unnecessary, as he could have just taken them to an exam hall, making Lucci hate him even more. The papers are distributed and the students notice that the questions are moving around. They are expected to use a magic spell to dispel Lucci's magic and make the questions stop moving. Burndead and Brad worry about Mash, who angrily orders the words to arrange themselves, causing the words to align themselves in fear. Mash quickly finishes the paper, and Lucci is shocked to see how perfectly aligned the questions are. Mash passes all the other tests quickly, and Lucci, wanting to eliminate him, makes a maze appear from the ground and asks the applicants to escape it within 30 minutes. A girl named Lemon approaches Mash and asks to tag along with him, but she keeps falling for the traps and hindering Mash's performance. As he decides to go his way, she magically cuffs him and tells him that she has to make sure he fails, but Mash breaks free and dashes off. A huge creature approaches and asks Lemon a riddle, which she fails to answer, but Mash shows up and punches the creature. He says that he helped her because he feels they both are desperate to get into the academy. Meanwhile, Lucci is confident that Mash won't be able to get out of the maze. But suddenly, a wall breaks, and it is revealed that Mash just broke all the walls to create his way out of the maze. Other applicants complain about Mash cheating, but Lemon tells them that it wasn't Mash's fault, as Lucci told her he would accept her into the academy if she made Mash fail. Lucci admits to this and makes another magical spell, telling them he won't accept Mash and Lemon into the academy and asking them to challenge him. But Mash just crushes his wand and tells him that he has gone too far. At the same time, the headmaster, Volberg, arrives and tells them that he will conduct the final interview, and Mash is called in. They ask him questions, and the other professors don't like his answers. Eventually, Volberg asks him why he saved Lemon, and he explains that he didn't want to regret not saving her. Volberg explains that there are creatures stronger than Mash, and he can't act before thinking. To prove his point, he summons a powerful creature that has a doll with Burndead's soul and is about to hurt it. Mash punches it, but it does nothing, so Mash uses his hands to stop the needle from hurting the doll. Volberg realizes that Mash wants to outlast the creature and calls it back. He accepts that Mash has the tendency to help the weak and accepts him into the academy. The next day, classes start, and Mash enrages another teacher as he opens a lock with his hands instead of using magic. Another guy in the class named Finn thinks of Mash as a troublemaker and wishes he doesn't get a room with him, only to find out that Mash is his roommate. Mash asks Finn to borrow his broom, and Finn allows it. However, in the next class, the broom doesn't respond to Mash's command, and an arrogant student tells Mash to race him. The loser will obey the winner till graduation. Mash agrees and throws his broom in the air while jumping and creating an illusion that he is riding the broom, easily winning the race. The student accuses Mash of cheating, but another student named Cavil quickly sews his mouth and apologizes for his friend's behavior. The students worry that Mash has become Cavil's new target, so he tells Mash to meet him after class. Later, Finn reveals that Cavil is the son of a prominent member of the Bureau of Magic, and he has seen students suffer because of Cavil, as he can even get students expelled. Cavil waits for Mash, who forgets about meeting him, and bakes cream puffs instead. The next day, Cavil approaches him and tells him that if Mash follows his orders, he can ask the vice principal to make Mash the divine visionary, and Mash quickly accepts the offer. He becomes his lapdog, and Cavil orders Finn to burn Mash's clothes, but Finn refuses, so Cavil uses magic to beat him up. Mash arrives at the scene and smashes Cavil's head into the floor for bullying. The vice president, Farman, suddenly arrives at the scene and says that a disciplinary committee will be opened against them for hurting Cavil. He continues to call them idiots, and Mash hits Farman in the face, saying that since he is already in trouble, he might as well stand up for the right thing. Farman threatens to expel him, but Mash, in turn, threatens to bury him alive. Mash is summoned by Volberg, who tells Mash that the Magic Bureau has issued his expulsion notice and explains that the Magic Bureau is the highest authority on land, and its core is formed by the divine visionaries of the Academy. Volberg burns the notice, saying that he wishes the world would become fair one day, and tells Mash that he has to earn coins if he wants to become the divine visionary. One day, Mash is approached by a game captain named Tom, who asks Mash to join his team. Mash explains that he doesn't know how to fly a broom, but Tom doesn't believe him. On the day of the match, Tom is intentionally injured by the captain of the enemy team, and this enrages Mash into jumping and kicking his legs to remain in the air while he repeatedly throws the ball from afar into the goalpost. This makes their team win and sets a record for the Academy, causing the whole team to get a silver coin. Tom hugs Mash, but Mash declares that he doesn't want to play this game anymore. On the other side, a man named Lance looks at the achievement of Mash in the newspaper and decides to make him his next target. The next day, he shows up and traps Mash's friends in a bottle, then takes Mash to the forest, where he challenges him to a duel in which they each bet a silver coin. Mash agrees, but soon realizes that Lance has great magical powers and fails to land a hit. Lance is also shocked by Mash's resilience and threatens to throw his friends down the cliff. Lance reveals that his little sister is suffering from an incurable disease that will eventually strip her of magical powers, and he wants to become a divine visionary to save her from the system. Lance drops the bottle, and Mash uses his exceptional speed to recover it, only to realize that Lance isn't a bad guy, as the bottle he dropped was empty. He grabs the real bottle and frees his friends, so Lance concedes the duel and hands him a silver coin. It is revealed that there are 3 dorms in the Academy, Adler for courage, Orca for wisdom, and Lang for ambition, and all three have a rivalry. MASH puts together his silver coins and realizes that 5 silver coins are equivalent to 1 gold coin. Finn suddenly realizes they haven't done their potions assignment and freaks out, but Lance shows up to help them. He teaches them how to put a chaotic mandrake to sleep, and MASH eventually slaps his mandrake to knock it out. Lance then teaches them how to make the potion, but MASH ends up making cream puffs. The dorm competition is coming, and the leader of Lang Dorm orders its students to steal all of Adler Dorm's coins. The next day, Lang and Adler Dorms have a joint class in the forest when a guy named Barrett throws a tantrum about MASH getting the attention of Lemon. The professor arrives and gives them a task to hunt forest scorpions, explaining that stronger ones have a stone worth a silver coin. MASH aims to get it, but another student named Silva discourages him and hits MASH with an iron wall. The teacher breaks up the fight, and MASH heads into the forest, where he meets Barrett again, who wants to fight MASH. Suddenly, they hear a girl scream in fear, and Barrett intervenes to save her. She thanks him, and he falls madly for her. It is revealed that she is using enchanting magic, which works on men who find her attractive. She tries to use it on MASH, but he doesn't care about it. She breaks down and tells them that Silva has ordered her to use her magic on them, when suddenly Silva appears and says that if MASH and Barrett can take 5 of his attacks each, he will not bother the girl. He even says he will give a silver coin, and thinking MASH is of no use, Barrett takes all 10 hits. After the last hit, he falls to the ground and tells MASH to take the girl and run away. However, it is revealed that the girl is on Silva's side, and they laugh at Barrett. MASH thinks they have gone too far and decides to join the 10 hits challenge. On the other side, his friends beat a scorpion, and Lance wonders if MASH will be okay. He explains that there are white mages who focus on academics, and red mages who focus on combat, and MASH has only encountered white mages so far. If he goes against any red mage from senior years, many would surpass him easily. However, as Silva starts his attack, MASH is hit by the first few, and then manages to destroy the iron with his fist before landing 2 blows on Silva. MASH then tells him there are 8 more attacks he should face, when suddenly a giant scorpion with a star-shaped stone appears. Silva thinks he can escape while MASH is busy with it, but MASH just throws the scorpion in the air, saying he has no time for it. The scorpion drops its stone, and MASH decides to let Silva be. However, he smashes the girl on the floor for being manipulative. MASH goes back to his friends, where Lance tells him that the Starstone is worth 2 silver coins, and MASH now has 5 pieces that combine to form a gold stone. Lance informs him that the Lang Dorm cares about bloodlines, and ensures commoners don't make it to the Bureau of Magic, so MASH must be careful of them. He explains that the top 7 students of the Lang Dorm are called Magia Lupus, and Silva must be one of their lackeys. He advises MASH to surround himself with people from his dorm. But the next day, MASH gets lost looking for his class. He comes across a door, and behind the door, the leader of Magia Lupus is revealed as Abel, who calls his doll Mother. Abel turns Silva into a doll for his failure and says that only he should become the next divine visionary. MASH breaks another door and barges in, and upon being asked, he explains that he wants to become the divine visionary because he wants to be able to live with his family, but the current society doesn't accept him. Abel explains that his reason is to restore the order of the world and eliminate weak people. He attacks MASH with one of his puppets, but MASH cuts the strings, and the puppet turns into Silva. Another puppet grabs MASH and throws his coin to Abel. MASH gets up and decides to take Silva to the infirmary. Abel realizes that MASH tricked him by throwing a button instead of the gold coin. MASH ensures Silva is okay, causing Silva to reflect on his values and go to his dorm room. There, Lemon barges in, telling them to take a look at the scale. The scale shows that Lang Dorm has 15 gold coins, while the other 2 dorms only have 1 each. The Lang Dorm has been snatching the coins of all others. The headmaster punishes MASH to clean the owl house, and Lance joins him. 2 Lang students named Andrew and Shinri offer a fight while betting a gold coin. They are the 6th and 7th members of Magia Lupus, and Andrew puts Mash underwater before turning into a shark and going after him. Shinri attacks Lance, believing he is superior because he manages to hit Lance. However, Lance is focused on saving the owls and eventually defeats Shinri with his gravity magic, showcasing that he is from the crowned bloodline. On the other side, Mash learns how to swim and easily destroys Andrew. Lance takes their gold coin and believes that Magia Lupus isn't as strong as they initially thought when another member of Magia Lupus arrives on the scene wearing a mask. The masked man deceives both Lance and Mash, collecting his defeated members in a bottle, and says he will meet them again. As he departs, the masked man notices a crack in his mask and wonders how Mash was able to move so fast. The masked man then destroys a student from the Orca dorm and steals his gold coin. Meanwhile, Lemon informs Mash and the others that Tom is in the infirmary. When they go to visit him, they find several students in the same condition. None of them can remember how they ended up there, but they all recall feeling like they were trapped in a box that drained their magical energy. They realize this has been happening since the headmaster left for the Magic Bureau. Lemon gives Mash a cream puff plushie, asking him not to do anything too risky. Later that night, Mash, Finn, Lance, and Barrett head out to find the Lang dorm. Along the way, they see Lemon walking in the hallway, but soon realize she has been turned into a puppet. They decide to follow her, but eventually reach a dead end. So Lance uses his magic to reveal a hidden door, and Mash opens it using a sword as a lever. They discover a large space hidden in the school's basement and eventually arrive at an arena. A student named Getsuku appears, telling them they must defeat him to proceed. Barrett steps forward, and Getsuku turns his wand into a rose whip. Meanwhile, the Bureau of Magic informs the headmaster that 6 of the most notorious criminals on death row have escaped, and the escape was orchestrated with the help of someone named Innocent Zero, as all the guards were slaughtered. Back at the arena, Barrett manages to defeat Getsuku using his fire time bombs. The ground then swallows all 4 of them, separating them into different areas. Lance faces off against Madel, the thief fang of Magia Lupus. Barrett and Finn land together and face Milo and Love, the 4th and 5th fangs. Mash, however, finds himself in an isolated hallway where he is greeted by the masked man, who introduces himself as Razor, the 2nd fang of Magia Lupus. Razor compliments Mash's movements, but remarks that he knows Mash can't use any magic, which worries Mash that his secret has been discovered. Elsewhere, Lance uses his gravity magic on Model, who transforms into mud and creates multiple clones. Model offers Lance a chance to join Magia Lupus, but Lance declines. Lance throws him into the wall, only to find that the walls have also been coated with mud, weakening the impact. Lance begins using stones to attack, but Madel drinks potions containing the magical essence extracted from other students, granting him a surge of power. He ascends to the 2nd tier of his magic and summons a large mud monster, explaining that the 2nd tier can only be achieved by those who bear 2 lines on their face. However, Lance reveals that he too can use the secondary tier, creating gravity pillars around the creature, pulling it apart from all sides before destroying it with another pillar. Madel reflects on how his family will never approve of him, but Lance acknowledges his hard work, saying he too once only focused on results until his little sister taught him the importance of always doing their best. Meanwhile, the fight between Razor and Mash begins, and Razor rushes past Mash multiple times, slashing and cutting him in various places. He compares their circumstances, saying they are similar, but Mash was blessed with a loving father. Razor then reveals that Lemon is being drained of her magic power, and in 30 minutes, she will have no magic left. Despite slashing and eventually stabbing Mash, Razor is surprised when Mash tightens his core muscles, stopping the blade, and headbutts him, revealing Razor's evil eye, a power that disables others' magic. Razor explains that because his power is linked to the devil, he is rejected by society, even by his parents, who fear him. Razor activates his secondary power, forming a sphere where MASH appears helpless. However, MASH outsmarts him by opening the ground, limiting Razor's movement, and then punches him in the gut. He throws Razor around effortlessly, winning the fight. Lying on the ground, Razor recounts how his parents locked him in the basement when his evil eye manifested, and eventually even tried to kill him. Though Abel used him, Razor admits Abel gave him a purpose. MASH, showing compassion, offers to be Razor's friend, but Razor declines, warning MASH not to continue forward because Abel is on a whole different level. But MASH ignores his warnings. Elsewhere, Barrett and Finn struggle against Milo and Love. Love, declaring that all men who don't cherish her deserve to die, unleashes a powerful tornado on Barrett. Barrett remembers how his sister taught him to protect those he cares about, and he breaks free from the spell. Love notices a cross on Barrett's face, explaining that some children are born with crosses that enhance their power when they are emotional. Barrett summons massive fireballs but holds back, refusing to harm Love because he dislikes hurting women. Moved by his mercy, Love accepts her defeat. Just as Milo returns and summons Stone Hands to crush Barrett and Finn, a sword strikes Milo. He looks up to see Rain, the divine visionary from last year, and Finn's older brother. Milo attempts to attack, but Rain easily overwhelms him with his superior power. Rain orders everyone to leave, saying he will handle the rest. Rain explains that he was sent by Wahlberg because there's suspicion that a pawn of Innocent Zero is hiding within the academy. As he encounters MASH, Rain tries to sense his magic power, only to find out that MASH has none. MASH skillfully evades Rain's attacks, leading Rain to apologize for doubting him. He gives MASH a healing handkerchief. MASH finds the final room and barges right in, where Abel welcomes him as a fellow superior being for defeating Razor. Abel reveals his philosophy of eliminating the weak and those who protect them, which clashes with MASH's values. MASH reflects on how Burndead took him in and loved him as a child, strengthening his resolve that he cannot be friends with someone like Abel. Abel, seeing MASH as genetically inferior, declares that MASH must be eliminated and launches his acid puppets at him. MASH swiftly destroys one puppet and uses its head like a bowling ball to take out the rest. Abel summons stronger puppets, but MASH defeats them with ease. MASH demands that Abel release Lemon, but Abel retaliates by turning MASH into a puppet, making him attack himself. Abel then sends a mind-controlled Finn after MASH, warning that if MASH defends himself, Finn will be torn apart. Abel lectures MASH, stating that people are only good when it doesn't cost them anything, and that true nature is revealed when they are forced to suffer. MASH, undeterred by Abel's manipulative tactics, uses a gold coin to cut Finn's puppet strings, freeing him. Abel tries to take control of MASH again, but this time, MASH's sheer strength breaks Abel's finger. MASH rushes forward and hits Abel, who retaliates by attempting to turn MASH into a puppet. As MASH is about to be fully transformed, Abel tries to claim MASH's gold coin, but finds a cream puff instead. This shock jolts MASH back into control, and he punches Abel in the process. In a final desperate move, Abel summons a massive puppet, designed to turn everyone within 100 meters into a puppet. MASH, however, tears through the strings with his brute strength. Each time a string touches one of his limbs, MASH tears it apart using his free arm. He reaches Abel and smashes him into the ground, effectively ending the battle. After his defeat, Abel reveals his backstory. His mother, a noble, believed nobility was a matter of chance and dedicated her life to serving the poor. One day, while distributing food, she was killed by a greedy man. This tragedy twisted Abel's worldview, making him believe the weak must be eradicated. But after losing to MASH, Abel begins to realize the value of kindness. He frees all the students he has controlled, and they celebrate their victory. Abel, however, is baffled that he lost to someone so stupid. While everyone wonders what happened to Lance, Rain encounters a man disguised as Lance. This man, named Cell, is an associate of Innocent Zero, sent to kill Abel, who is no longer useful to the organization. Rain finds himself facing off against another powerful opponent, while Cell heads toward Abel. Cell arrives only to find Abel defeated by MASH, so he takes control of Abel's hands and begins choking him. But MASH arrives with cream puffs, accidentally dropping them on Cell. As Cell attempts to kill Abel, Razor sacrifices himself, taking the blow meant for Abel. MASH gives Razor the healing handkerchief and then prepares to fight Cell. Abel, moved by MASH's kindness, sends his doll to protect MASH, but Cell destroys it with ease. MASH manages to land a punch on Cell, but Cell retaliates by using a magic mirror that deflects all spells. However, MASH smashes through the mirror with force. Cell quickly realizes that MASH's power is not magic at all. Recognizing MASH as the one innocent Zero has been searching for, Cell retreats through a portal, promising to return for MASH soon. Abel, grateful for MASH's intervention, thanks him. The group heads to the infirmary and MASH's friends promise to help keep his secret safe. However, one of the students wakes up, having overheard the entire conversation. He finds it absurd that someone without magic could attend the academy. Knowing his secret is at risk of being exposed, MASH, rather than worry, chooses to enjoy a cream puff.